Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. So thankful you could join me this morning. It's a nice overcast day here in Pennsylvania. And what I thought I would do this morning is let's take a small tour and give you an update on how our tomatoes are doing. Because right now they've come to maturity. So let's take a walk this way. If you've watched my other videos, this is my 18 by 30 foot raised garden bed right here. A couple years ago I built a frame around this and I added some more soil to this. Actually, most of this garden bed consists of topsoil, and I have amended it in the past with things like horse manure from the past and peat moss. And that's why I have the black plastic on this, because the weeds still come through the topsoil, or even using the plastic it just comes up where the plants are. But I'm always amazed at how tenacious these weeds are, and they want to grow up through every crack and crevice there is. So, well, good morning, Bailey. So anyhow, what I wanted to do was just give you a close-up look and see how our indeterminate tomatoes they're the determinate tomatoes, and these are Mountain Spring tomatoes, and I also have some Roma tomatoes. And now that the leaves are withering away, we can get a closer look at some of these tomatoes. It's just amazing how many tomatoes are on these vines. I have 4 rows of 8, so I have about 32 tomato plants. And when you buy packs of 10, you can get them for $1.40 per plant. So it gives you an idea how inexpensive it is to grow these tomatoes. Now the Mountain Spring, I'm going to use those also for canning, as well as the Roma tomatoes. The Roma tomatoes are a thicker flesh, and so they are better for canning. Last year we canned 100 quarts of tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce, which we'll use the peppers from our garden and also the basil. These are the Mountain Spring right here. You can just see the clusters of tomatoes that are here. I have these supported by tomato cages, nice heavy duty ones. They cost about $4.50 a piece. Over here, let me take a walk down. You can see I have some yellow tomatoes. I forget the technical term for them, but they're similar to the sun gold tomatoes, but much bigger. They're not as acidic. There's some more down there. And then over there I have some of these Roma tomatoes. They're starting to ripen. But the determinate tomatoes, they all ripen about the same time, within maybe 2-3 week period, so you can get your canning done all at one time. So let's take a walk around the back side of these tomatoes and show you what they look like over here, just to give you an idea of how many tomatoes these plants produce. And if you have healthy soil, good fertile composted soil, this is what you should expect your plants to look like. And so we have some more here. It's just amazing, once those leaves dry up and wither away, you can just begin to see the hundreds of pounds of tomatoes that are here. And so when I buy packs of 10 tomatoes, you get them for $1.40 each, and so it's even a little bit cheaper per plant because you buy packs of 10. Look at all these tomatoes right here. It's just amazing. I know one thing, I'm going to be canning this weekend. And so I look forward to getting this done. And these are our peppers here. If you've seen the video about why we should grow bell peppers. If you haven't watched that, I would encourage you to watch it. It's just amazing what a few plants can produce. There's some more tomatoes there. This cage is leaning over because of all the weight. You can never let these grow like I did Jungle, the Indeterminate Sun Gold tomato, cherry tomatoes, because they're way too heavy. You could let them sprawl on the ground. I think I actually have one up the upper section. It's sprawling right now. Let's go take a look at some other tomatoes I have. They're the Indeterminate tomatoes. They get 6-7 feet high. They'll keep on growing unless you nip the leader off. Then they'll stop growing. But down here on the end, this is where these tomatoes are. You can see I have it supported by a 2x4 up top. And what I do is I just twist the rope right around the stem as it grows. It's a pretty easy, effective way to support these tomato plants. And like I said, these will grow right up into the frost. There's a few on the ground. They're just the weight of them cause the branch to bend over. And I have a few big ones right here. These are probably at least 1 pound a piece. It's about the size of my fist, maybe a little bit bigger. But it's just amazing how juicy and tasty these homegrown tomatoes are. What you doing, Bailey? Here on the end I have another Sun Gold tomato plant. Let nature take its course here, and it's just starting to sprawl out. You could say it's Jungle's brother here. And so, anyhow, this is our update on our tomatoes. If you have any experience with your tomatoes, I'm always open and welcome comments or suggestions on maybe even how to stake your tomatoes up. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the space below. And if you want to subscribe for future videos, please do as well. And so I just want to thank you for joining me today. Until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.